Don't know how this is going to look. It's a little bit bouncy, so I apologize, but I got to make this video. I only got so much time today, and I can't ramble on so much. It's Wednesday. I was looking overnight. I saw a report out of Russia. They're reporting that the Central Bank of Russia, and I think it's the Central Bank of Russia and the Russian government, have come to an agreement that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies can be used as currency, like the Russian ruble. Now, in digging into this a little bit more, it looks like it's not, hey, everybody can use it. It's like El Salvador and Bitcoin. It's legal tender. I don't think that's necessarily the case. It almost looks like within governmental structures, within official channels, you'll be able to use Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. What those other cryptocurrencies are, it's hard to say, but I can imagine Litecoin will be one of them. Probably Bitcoin Cash, maybe Ethereum, arguably. Is that a cryptocurrency? Doesn't matter. A lot of the big platforms use it. It's been around for a long time. So that, you kind of see this coming though, because you've got Washington, D.C. saying, hey, we're going to have severe, horrible, terrible punishments on Putin and Russia because of Ukraine. If they step 1 inch into Ukraine, then we are going to have harsh consequences. And what they mean by that is we are going to put heavy sanctions on you. Well, what's sanctions mean? That means we're not going to let you play in our casino anymore. You're using the SWIFT system, the dollar system, any banking system, that we control, that we have influence in, you're not going to get to use it. Therefore, we're going to stifle your trade of your goods. And Russia's got a lot of energy that they can put to the world market. So that could hurt. However, I just see what's going to happen here. This is just my opinion, but just looking at the tea leaves, I guess, and the things I've read. Russia and China, they've got partnerships. They've got deals. China's a big producer of things. Russia is a big producer of energy. In order to produce things, you need energy. Okay, so if you're going to be an industrialized economy, you kind of need access to energy that's affordable. China wants to be an industrialized economy. They make a deal with Russia, and they get plenty of energy. And they happen to be neighbors. So that helps. And they happen to have a kind of a common adversary, being the United States. All right, so if Russia is saying, hey, you know what, cryptocurrency's not so bad, we can trade with them. How far of a leap is it before they're forced, China and Russia, they are forced into not just trading gold between each other or other commodities, but they start trading, man, that is a big bucket. Holy cow, I've never seen a bucket that big for a backhoe. It's huge. Put this digibug in it very easily. All right, so they can start, they could start transacting in a different currency. Well, if they start using Bitcoin or Litecoin, trusted cryptocurrencies, what's to stop them from doing that? What does a sanction do to them at that point? It really doesn't. And then the ripple effect is, this may backfire because Russia and China and maybe other people, the BRICS nations, it used to be, Brazil, Russia, India, China. Anyway, if there's a block of nations that start saying, wait a minute, you know what? We're tired of getting pushed around. We're tired of being manipulated by this dollar. We're just going to transact in another currency like Bitcoin that we can all trust. See, this is what happened in 2008. This is why the whole banking system locked up, because the banks didn't trust each other to trade. They're like, we don't know if we're going to get paid if we loan you some money and push it over that way. They didn't trust each other. And so the whole thing locked up. There's a big freeze. The banks are like, no, no. Because there's all these derivatives, there's all these collateralized debt obligations, all these packaged Wall Street fiction items that these banks held. And it was very negative on their balance sheet because the price of all that stuff started going down because the housing market was collapsing, big ripple effect. And so banks are like, I don't know what you're holding. I don't know how much debt you have. I don't know if you're going to go under tomorrow. It's not transparent, completely not transparent. So they didn't trust each other. Well, what if you have a transparent system that gets put into place, a public balance sheet, a public ledger, to where, oh, okay, yeah, I see you've got that. All right, we can make deals, and then the transaction goes through. You got a receipt on the blockchain. Boom, done. Send me your oil. Send me your natural gas. Send me your little tinker toys in return. No, but you've got a system now, and governments are realizing that. Governments know that, and it's just a matter of, hey, if you're going to push them into it, they're going to do it. You know, so you keep squeezing and it keeps slipping through your fingers, and that's just exactly what's going to happen with the old economic order. I remember in Cliff High, I think it was in his data, but he did talk about it, so it must have been in his data, and he said that at some point governments are going to be transacting in Bitcoin. They're going to be settling in Bitcoin. It's much easier. I mean, the old way to do it is like, oh, you know, I'll give you this many tons of gold and, you know, we'll settle up that way. You don't have to do that with Bitcoin. You know, it's just boom, done. It's on the blockchain. It transfers. Phone rings. It transfers. It's a done deal. So I think you're starting to see the beginning stages of Bitcoin. Other solid cryptocurrencies, Litecoin will be right in there too because of its nature. And you look at the volume of what's going on in the Litecoin blockchain right now, there may be governments starting to transact, or at least doing tests, you know, liquidity tests to see if it's possible, because there's a lot of activity on the Litecoin blockchain. There are more transactions and volume moving than I think even on Ethereum, just second to Bitcoin's all on certain days. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I think a lot of things are about to change. Governments will be getting involved in crypto. I don't think there's any doubt about that, because, you know, you've got unreliable players out there trying to enforce their will. So at some point, governments are going to say, it's our resources. We're going to do what we want. You're not going to stop us. And guess what? We've got the weapon to not let you stop us. So those are my thoughts today. And guess what? It's not just governments, it's us. All of us. We can prevent any government from stopping us and sanctioning us. And that's the power of cryptocurrency. That's the power of Bitcoin. That's the power of Litecoin. It's a weapon. It's a new economic weapon. Pick it up and use it. Armor up. All right, I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up for me. I appreciate that. Hit that, like this video, and subscribe, and hit the little notification bell, and that way you get notified when I make the videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Always trust yourself and trust your instincts. All right. Love you. Have a great Wednesday.